Tonight, there are growing calls to change how much inmate workers in Minnesota get paid. Right now, most prisoners make 25 cents to $2 an hour, but a reform would require a change to the state's constitution. Now, Sarah Kelvey heard from supporters and from corrections officials on where the effort stands.
At Lino Lakes Prison, inmates are working their way through the MnCOR program, something that supporters argue is beneficial and works as rehabilitation, while critics say it's a modern form of slavery.
Jump for joy if you're getting paid $1.
Max Graves works with the End Slavery Coalition in Minnesota.
We don't want them to return back.
The group argues that not only does the Minnesota State Constitution allow for slavery, but the Minnesota Department of Corrections is taking advantage.
We know that the punishment is pretty much confinement, and that they're adding on the extra layer with free labor pretty much, or dismissive labor, slave labor.
Article 1, Section 2 of the Minnesota Constitution states, "There shall be neither slavery nor involuntary servitude in the state otherwise than as a punishment for a crime of which the party has been convicted." That's what the group wants to change.
They're stealing prison labor from these individuals, and in turn, when you steal prison labor, you're stealing from families.
Graves thinks the low wages could also be affecting recidivism rates in Minnesota.
When you get out, you pretty much start from scratch, and it doesn't make any sense. So a lot of individuals, they're frustrated by the way things are.
The DLC tells KARE 11 that participation in its work programs is voluntary, and incarcerated individuals are compensated according to, quote, established policies. DLC documents shared with KARE 11 show 4 tiers of pay for its incarcerated workers. According to that data, the highest tier of earners make $4 per day. When we asked if the DOC has considered adjusting the wages of its incarcerated workforce, they told us that their policies were recently updated and there are no changes currently planned. The DOC also tells KARE 11 that the incarcerated workers build job skills and soft skills that will help them with their reacclimation to society. For Graves, the ends don't quite justify the means.
Does that mean that we should be on board with enslaving individuals and treating them humanely?
Important debate right there. Lawmakers are expected to debate a bill to completely remove involuntary servitude this upcoming legislative session.